is it is woven in my DNA. If I'm sure of anything, it's that I'm just a straight New Yorker. I've tried to travel. I try to go to places like LA. It's just not me. There's this grittiness to New York City that I love. This balance between grit and grime, like grime and glamour. It's becoming a little sterile for my liking. It's becoming too perfect of a city, But there's still those elements of that grittiness that I love. From as early as I can remember, I used to come down to Soho and see like the Basquiat paintings on the streets. And I used to tag up the streets when I was 5 years old. I remember that. So that had a big influence in my work, even though I don't paint, in the style of Basquiat. It was just a way of seeing someone express themselves outside gallery. And I just loved seeing art on the streets. It was just, this is my home. I can't shake it. It's my one true love is New York City. I love it when I'm in places where I can feel the haunting energy of the past, So my old studio was in an old Civil War building. And back then we used to be able to drive illegal motorcycles on the street. The sound of gunshots were just sounds like birds chirping. It was really fucked up, but I loved it. I remember seeing, when I was 5, the posters we pasted all over Soho, and how earth and nature would erode them. You see layers and layers come peel off, and then you'd see this pop-up high-end boutique right next door, and it was just the perfect balance between that kind of city grit and posh, life. And so you see a lot of that in my work. You see I'll use these ephemeral materials of torn apart paper from old vintage magazines and then cover it with gold-plated metal, And it's just that perfect balance for me. It's we put on these brave faces, but deep inside we all have this grit and these stories and damage and all this stuff. But we always try to put on this golden exterior. New York City is a little like that, But it kind of wears its wounds on its sleeve, which I like. I always felt that I did not want to paint anything that anyone else told me to paint. I'm not focused on what people care about. I don't really give a shit about that. I'm painting purely from the soul.